What if I told you that many of us are not actually making do? We're just placing spiritual orders. And what if I told you that Allah is not ignoring your do, but you might be misunderstanding what do really is? By the way, if you look carefully at many religions around the world, you will notice something strange. Most of them have turned spirituality into a kind of spiritual Amazon. You place an order, you make a wish list, you expect delivery, and you call that prayer. But that is not prayer. That is simply material desire wrapped in spiritual language. Unfortunately, Muslims have slowly fallen into the same trap. We took this beautiful, sacred act that Allah calls do, and we reduced it to nothing more than worldly requests. And then, when things don't go our way, we ask, why is Allah not answering my do? This is the most common question I hear everywhere in the world. And whenever I have the chance, without embarrassing anyone, I ask them privately, tell me about your do, and many times the answer sounds like this. I've been making do for 3 years that my daughter marries this man, but she keeps saying no. So I ask them gently, so your do is basically, yeah, give me control over the thoughts and feelings of another human being. And Allah decided not to give you control over another soul. That doesn't mean Allah rejected your do. It means you were never making do, you were asking for control. And why would Allah give that to anyone? Would you want your daughter making do to control you? Of course not. So, what happened? We turned do into something unspiritual. We turned it into stubborn demands. We even hide behind a hadith that says, ask Allah even for a shoeless. But let's be honest, you're not asking for a shoeless. The point of that hadith was trust, not greed. It meant that when you are on the right path, Allah takes care of every need, big or small. But instead, we ask for the wrong things. We behave like stubborn children who just want what they want, and then we say, Allah is not answering my do no. The real issue is this: your heart is in the wrong place. There is no trust. There is no surrender. Allah says clearly in the Quran, Allah knows, and you do not know. You may hate something that is good for you, and you may love something that is bad for you. But our response is often, yes, Allah knows, but I really want this. So then we start looking for verses, formulas, shortcuts. Tell me an ayah I can use to get what I want. At that point, religion becomes a shopping list. But Islam was never meant to be that. We don't come to Allah for our wishes. We come to Allah because He gave us direction before we were even born. Every gift in life, marriage, children, money, health, these are not destinations. They are rest stops. Like when you on a long journey and you stop for fuel, then you keep going. Some people reach the stop and say, I love this place. I'm staying here forever. They forget the journey. But Allah created us for something greater. A sabil. A path. Now, let's understand something deeper. Allah talks about intellect and understanding is something that lives in the heart. But the heart is not empty. The heart is like an apartment building. It has many residents. Anger lives there. Jealousy lives there. Greed lives there. Fear lives there. Insecurity lives there. Love lives there. Happiness lives there. Sadness lives there. And among all these residents is the RA, the soul. The RA is the most helpful resident. It goes to the others and says, I can help you. I can keep you balanced. But sometimes, the other residents refuse to listen. Anger says, I don't want control. Fear says, I want to take over. And when one emotion dominates, the entire building is surrendered. Allah did not remove emotions from us. You are supposed to feel anger, but controlled. You are supposed to feel desire, but disciplined. You are supposed to feel fear, but anchored in faith. So what gives the RA strength? Light. And where does that light come from? Revelation. The words of Allah. That is why the Quran heals. That is do is not about control. That is why trust is the foundation of faith. When the heart is fed with light, every other emotion falls into balance. And when the heart is empty of light, even worship turns into selfish desire. Islam is not about getting what you want. It's about becoming who Allah wants you to be. When that happens, what is meant for you will reach you without force, without obsession, without desperation.